Welcome to Ready, Set, Rise, the ultimate podcast made for martial artists by martial artists, with your hosts, Aaron Hensley and Cameron Smith.
Right. So here's the deal. Last week we talked about advertising. Advertising is shouting, right? It's being loud. And marketing is when you invite somebody. And I use the analogy because some of you guys didn't know about vampires. Vampires can't walk in your house unless you got to invite them, right? That's some weird thing that was part of like their Achilles heel. You got to invite them in to kill you. Okay. Well, I mean, that's going to be the secret to your business in martial arts, guys. It's going to be your secret to success. You got it. You got to shout so people know who you are. But the real key is how you get more in front of people so they see you and you're able to invite them. They'll ghost you less when they know your face. They've shaken your hand, right? They're going to ghost you less. It's when they're in the digital world. It's real easy to, tune you out when it's just not convenient for them. Okay. All right. So today, I'm going to try to do this super fast, guys. So first thing is, going over just marketing in general. Marketing being inviting someone, not shouting. Branding is totally different, right? Branding is like, my water bottle, I put all my damn stickers all over it at the gym, just mainly so I don't lose it. But that's marketing or branding, excuse me. It's just like if someone knows what that represents, maybe they don't, maybe they get curious, maybe they ask a question, but I'm not getting a customer from that. I might get a conversation at best, okay? Advertising, I'm paying someone else. I'm putting on a platform like Facebook or something like that. I'm sending out stuff and I'm shouting, hoping that someone listens to me. Marketing is when I'm in front of the person, I'm taking the personal action, or my company or my staff's taking personal action, and I'm inviting them into whatever we're doing. Okay. So one of the most successful day I ever had myself personally in my martial arts school was on a Wednesday, not a Saturday. Okay. And I've done this twice, both times massively huge. It was when the Ninja Turtles did a reboot a few years ago, and then when the Karate Kid did the reboot with Jaden Smith. So now it's probably been a decade or so, roughly, maybe longer. Those two movies when they came out, and I've done it since then, but those two movies kind of ignited martial arts to kids for a moment, right? For a generation maybe that didn't know the original Karate Kid series, etc., or the Ninja Turtle movies. Nowadays, martial arts is in pretty much every freaking movie, right? So you don't need a movie that's karate themed to enter the space, but Karate Kid movie with Cobra Kai ending, it's coming out and it has Jackie Chan. It comes out at the end of May, right into the launch of summer season. The timing's good. It's already in conversation. So it's not the movie you care about. It's just a reason for you to get involved in the space of the movies. And it's harder than before. So I'm even going to go through some of the objections that I know you're going to face when you go into a movie theater to work with. Okay. So both times when I've done this at a massive scale, and the Karate Kid one was a better push than I did with the Ninja Turtles. But in one night, me personally, not staff member, me personally, just to tell you how I did this, we ended up running on a Wednesday night. I did 4 intros back to back, four intros, and I signed up, not scheduled them to come in, signed up to memberships for 6-month memberships, 66 students that night. Okay. Now it's 6 months and 66. I'm not sure. And it was a Wednesday. So that was freaking me out. I was trying to get to 67 because it just freaked me out, but it's easy for me to remember that night. Okay. I had about 120 kids show up that night between those workshops, and we gave every single one a uniform. So I invested roughly, I think somewhere all in with this whole production, like $10,000 for that one night to come off. But, at the time, I think we're charging $125 a month when I did this. 6-month memberships. And of course, we upgraded some of those people. Cameron was one of the students I signed up that night, just to give you an idea. I think my ROI for that $10,000 is pretty good. Okay. So you just never know who's going to show up that day. So there's a lot of things that I've done, and I'm sure some of you guys, like Josh on here, seasoned school owner, I'm sure there's a lot of you guys who have done things where you spent money on a marketing plan that did not come out to the way you thought it was going to, and you were frustrated or upset. Or you spent money on something that was a gimmick that you got sold because you just didn't know better. So if anything, anytime you guys go to do something, if you just want to run it by me and say, hey, have you ever done this? Have you ever spent money here? Last night, David and I were on a coaching call till midnight your time. I think, right? Was it midnight? Man was out of
It
school.
was midnight. It
Yeah.
was midnight.
So over promise, over deliver. I had a 15, 16 hour Zoom day yesterday. My eyes are already glazed over. Um, but he was asking me stuff about like chamber of commerce. Like in some businesses, it's great, but I've been a part of probably 20 of them, maybe in different, and almost all of them, we're not necessarily the best fit for them because if you're in different market, a different type of product, it makes sense. So things like that you want to invest money for relationships, you do when you have success and you have an abundance of time and you have extra income because you want relationships and you want to step out and you want to be more of a presence in your community. Like Matthew's always like all over the place. He's at a church one day, he's speaking at some women's club one day. I don't even know if he goes to karate schools anymore. I swear, I don't think he's taught a class probably in a month. All he does is public talk. That's what Josh Smith does now. They don't even teach karate this to go around doing public talks. Okay. Um, so like if that's your goal, fine, but don't waste money on things that it's not going to give you an ROI. You don't have the extra income just to throw at things. You got to make it work. And that's where marketing is so important. And then after this, guys, I'm going to talk about some of the pitfalls of summertime in general. So movies, the movie comes out, I believe, right around Memorial Day weekend. And I'm going to tell you this, you do not want to be there just for opening weekend. You want to be there typically the week before. If you're targeting a movie as an audience, like Karate Kid, you want to be there the week before, the week of, and the week after. You want to look at this as a 3-week hit. There's a lot of people that hate going to an opening weekend. And there's a lot of people that only go if it's an opening weekend. Okay. There's a different kind of dynamics. Now, some of you guys, when I said that, you already know who you are. It's like if the movie's out for 4 weeks, you're like, I don't want to see it at the theater. I'll wait till some of you guys, I'm going to see it when it comes out or not at all. Some of you guys, I'm going to wait. I want no one in the theater with me when I go see it. Everyone's a little different. Okay. On that. And the movies are making a comeback after COVID. It's been pretty popular when I've been for some of the movies I've seen here lately. Now, you do not want to set up just a table and a backdrop, but you do want to have that. And you want to have that set up for the whole 3 weeks. Most theaters, when we go through the relationship, they'll let you set this up and leave it there the whole time, unmanned. And the reason why, like, we would have a 10-foot wide, it was just back in the day, premiere days, it was just the logo. Okay. And it would have some like text code on the banner or something, or a sign that we'd have with it. And that was just sitting in the theater for 3 weeks. Okay. That's called branding. There's no one inviting, there's no one advertising. That's just branding. But it was powerful to have that there because students would take pictures in front of it that were students going to movies in the middle of the week, send them to us. We would tell them it's there to do it too. If you ever have some of the cutout ones, those are pretty cool where somebody sticks their face in it and like they're in a karate guy type thing and has a number on it. Those are pretty cool. But on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, the week before, the week of, and the week after, we would man the booth and we would play what's called pitch and catch. You guys are familiar with that. You never just want one person if you can help it. One person is standing by the table. The other person is working the crowd. All right. And we're inviting people to come to our table and let them know what we have going on. We're not just targeting people there for the movie, whatever, like Ninja Turtle movie, Karate Kid movie. We're not just targeting those people. You want everybody. We're targeting our perfect customer, the person that has kids. And sometimes mom and dad are on dates, right? Josh, another guy, he's never at school. He's always on dates with his wife. He's got a beautiful family. He's always hanging out, traveling. You can't blame him, right? He's probably out, on a date with his woman, and it doesn't mean he doesn't have kids that are the right age group. So don't assume if you don't see kids, don't pitch the person, right? And you got to have someone who's really good. And I'll tell you, I always prefer, and I'm not trying to be sexist here. I would prefer not me. All right. I prefer someone younger and someone prettier. Okay. It could be a man or a woman. Women are harder to say no to. But like, you don't want someone who looks like a karate guy. You know what I'm saying? Like, unless you can turn on the charm really good. Right. So just understand, like you want to play that pitch and catch game and do that really well. And then take it to the next level. Well, worked really, really good the last time Karate Kid came out. And I would do it 100% every time. I'm going to tell you, we did it for almost every Avenger movie. Every superhero movie, we do this. Spider-Man, the Batman, we do it for all those movies. But when Karate Kid came out, we did a full press demo in front of every showing on opening weekend. And so we had kids in our demo team that we put a fight skit together We didn't even know what the movie was going to be like, but obviously you kind of have a theme. All right. We had a kid playing the character for like Jaden Smith. And we put together a little 2.5, 3 minute demo. They would go in and the kids felt like freaking stars. All right. Because we even knew from the previews, we knew what the kids were wearing, or a kid was wearing in the movie. So we dressed the part. We did this for the Avengers. We did this for almost every superhero movie. And so it makes it easy because people want to take pictures afterwards. It makes our kids, your demo kids that are already, giving a lot of help for your school out there competing or promoting for you, gives them something else to perform. It's different, like they're excited. So if you have the ability to do that, absolutely, that's awesome. I'll tell you how far back we've done movie promotions. My dad, before I was even able to ever, drive a car, my first promotion we did for this was Rambo, like one of the original ones. Now, this is crazy back in the day because my dad had paintball guns and they let him do live fire paintball guns in the movie theater. That was a different time, guys. All right. Nowadays, somebody getting shot for real. Okay. Like that would not be a good thing to happen nowadays. But that was some crazy times. So we've done all kind of stuff like that. It's always worked because it's just getting attention, right? You're getting attention and you're inviting people. But what worked really, really, really good for the Karate Kid movie was we were signing people up for our group workshops, your mass intros, and we didn't just ask them. We'd say, hey, guys, we have the workshop this Saturday. So if we met them on Friday, we're trying to invite them the next day, urgency. If we're meeting them Saturday and Sunday, the reason why we had one on Wednesday is because I didn't want to wait a whole nother week. So I literally canceled some classes on a Wednesday. I put that much bet into this to get people signed up to come on a Wednesday night, right? So like you want to make sure that you have times already pre-selected and you have someone with a clipboard and a pen. I think technology sometimes can slow us down because you're trying to be fancy and like, hey, use this QR code, do this over here. And I need speed. Someone's walking into a movie or walking out of a movie. I don't want to waste their time. They got their hands full of popcorn. They're coming out. They're leaving the movie, right? So like you want to be quick and urgent and you want to make sure because people are going to say, hey, we'll catch you on the way out. And here's the next thing is we always had a goal of how many names and phone numbers to collect. We didn't just randomize this. Hey guys, 50 today is our goal. We don't stop today till we get 50. And we would speed through how fast we can get to 50. I'd gamify it. Incentivize it if you need to. And how many people on 3 weekends, if you're in a movie theater, or 2 if you can you incentivize your people enough? Maybe you can collect a couple hundred, maybe 1,000 leads organically, people that you're inviting. These people that see your face, they see your brand, it's harder for them to say no or to ghost you. Okay. And then the other thing we did really well is because in the Karate Kid movie, there was a scene from that movie about the nunchucks. And so we gave away anyone who registered, when they would show up, we'd have a foam nunchuck ready for them. They'd have to show up to the workshop. So listen, whatever gimmick you got to do to get someone to show up, if you have a high level belief, you're going to close them. Guys, if you sign up 66 students in one day, it could massively change your business. I mean, there's some schools that don't do that in 12 months. And we probably all know people that haven't signed up 66 people in 12 months. All right. I did a survey a couple years ago. And I think the average person that I spoke to at the time, it was 50, 60 schools I've talked to. It was less than 4 people as their average per month they were signing up. So like that's 1 a week, new enrollments. I know you guys aren't doing that. You're way above that. I'm just saying like you guys sometimes aren't clued in with what the reality of how the average person's performing in their martial arts school. All right. Next level. You want to go crazy? The Regal Cinemas I was in that weekend for the Karate Kid movie, there was, I think, 70 staff members working that weekend, maybe a little more, somewhere in there. I got them to agree on opening weekend that if I paid for it, they would all wear a shirt I would create. So I got my school's branding real big on the back. And then I had the movie on here that I got permission from them to be able to put on there. And I paid, I don't know, $7 a shirt at the time to get these made because I had speed to get them done and sizing and all that kind of stuff. It was about $1,000, maybe all in with shipping and everything. And everybody walked in. Imagine if someone went to Regal Cinemas, if you guys have those, for example, because Regal's one of the bigger entities. Regal Cinemas based in Knoxville, Tennessee, by the way. They're a German company, but their U.S. locations in Knoxville. Reed Presley used to live in their headquarters. Basically, that was where his apartment was. But Imagine you walked in to go see a movie and everybody's wearing your Karate Skills brand as a shirt. Now it's an investment, it's a belief system, it's a bet. It's powerful, right? Because it's attaching your brand to another big brand. So you could take this as far as you want to, but don't do that when you're the up and coming school. Like Matthew up here, who's launching a new school. Like I wouldn't go that level, right? But if he's there and he has another person and he works the weekend and does a little demo in front of him and he gets 35, 40 names, great. Absolutely. Okay. I would 100% do that. All right. That's all the easy stuff. Hard part is getting into the cinemas. What you don't do is you don't send them an email because they're not going to read it. The exception to that is if you already have a relationship established. Now, I will tell you, big entities like Regal, for example, a lot of times their main manager of a location, they shift pretty often, more frequently than you would think. And so if you have a relationship established, it might not be the same person there. So just kind of be self-aware of that. But what I would do is I would make a personal visit first. And I would find out who this person is that you need to talk to. Now, what they're going to do is they have someone, most of them are going to have a marketing agency they work with or partner with, and they're just going to try to push you off to that. So you already have to know walking the door. Their first response to you is going to be to tell you, how they go about putting your ad on the screen, which I would not do that stuff. Or how they have it where you can sponsor their summer program for the kids' movies, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. All right. Now, I'm going to agree with that person. Hey, absolutely 100%. But just curious, who makes the decision about having something done in-house, right? You need to get to that person because unless you're just lucky, and obviously guys, don't go on a Friday, don't go on a Saturday, don't go on a Sunday, go on a random Tuesday afternoon when they're dead. Okay. And then I listen and I ask questions and I learn and I ask the questions because I want to find out because by the way, they do have the authority to make this decision. They're going to say they don't. And I know for a fact they do. Okay. Just like the school systems in most states that I've worked with, they'll say, oh, we've got to talk to the superintendent. But actually the principal does have the authority to make decisions. You just haven't hit the right love button yet. Okay. It's just a matter of figuring that out. And so this is where you give, ask. So I'm going to ask questions and I'm going to keep kind of probing, because I want to get in front of the right person that makes that decision. When I get in front of that person, I'm going to let them know that I'm looking for a relationship, not a one-time opportunity to be there for promotion for us. And that relationship is I'd like to do some team building for them because I do know they do staff trainings and they're always looking for some kind of fun, exciting, different. One of the best ones ever done with movie theaters is doing a goal setting through board breaking, just like you do with kids. Do it because a lot of these are young staff members anyway. It's a real fun one. Regal does a big promotion where they try to hire people on the spectrum. They try to hire people who have some kind of disability as well too. And so this sometimes is one of those only outlets they have access to when you do something like this. Okay. I also find out that person, that manager I end up in front of that makes the decision, the GM, they have kids, and I will gift that person a comp membership for 6 months. Okay. And if they don't have kids and they want to train or they have someone, or even better, one of the best times that I broke into a movie theater that was really difficult to get into, every month when they did like an employee of the month, I gave them a gift certificate for that person to have a 1 month trial membership on us, uniform, equipment, everything they need, 1 month. Okay. And we actually would convert some of those that had kids into students, and some of them were adults that come train, they would convert. Some of them never used it. Okay. That's one of those ones you don't do birthday parties as a promotion to them because they do birthday parties. So you don't want to give them something that you're in competition with. Okay. So I establish a relationship, and then I let them know with a moving and pending coming up that I want to be a part of I want to bring my karate kids and support their movie theater. And they'll give you the ability to either pre-buy group tickets or set up a code where your key people can have a discount. And then what I did with my students is we picked a day and a time. We normally did a Sunday afternoon after church hours, right? In the South, typically you want to do somewhere a 3 o'clock time. You don't want to do a 12, for whatever the first one is, 12, 1 o'clock. You don't want to do that. Okay. And we'd all show up, 50, 60, 100 of us. And when I had multiple states and multiple schools, we'd coordinate it to be the same day. and everybody was posting pictures. But we show up all wearing our school shirts because we want to give love. We want to, hey, they're giving us opportunity. The gate most of the time was some donation to their nonprofit, which supports their summer series. I've donated anywhere from $500 to $5,000. All right. One of the ones that I ended up doing the 5K for is because it was a location that had 6 schools right around. All 6 schools basically were going to support that one location. And I wanted a strong relationship because it was the biggest theater in town that everyone goes to. So they're going to say no. They're going to try to promote you to the person that does their advertising. You're not looking to advertise. You want a relationship, and you don't want to just market for this one time. You want to establish something that you do on a frequent level, right? And listen, ask forgiveness, not permission. So like sometimes, when you get there and you're able to set up, your backdrop, if you have some of these things, not all the staff's going to have all the same notes that you worked out this relationship. So sometimes, it's just a matter of treating the relationship, and whoever's there when you're not there, if it's not you, you don't want to work this relationship and then someone goes, burns it down for you. Okay. All right. I got one more quick topic, but I'm going to pause here. Questions on breaking into the movies? Well, not the movies, but the movie theater. Challenges. Does anyone not even have a movie theater? Some of you guys, like, I had someone tell me one time, like, I don't know, Matthew, I'm assuming you got a movie theater close by. I've taught to school owners that didn't have theaters close by. They were like, that's 30 miles away. I'm like, that's probably not going to work.
I have one within 15 minutes.
Perfect. And I'll tell you also too, if you guys do summer camps, there's so many summer camps that go to, like, I use Regal because they're a big one in the Southeast, and they'll do their $1 movies, and they'll partner with all these camps. Flood of kids go. The problem is they don't have their parents. So like, you don't want to necessarily be there during that, but if you sponsor that, if you ask how to market those people, a lot of times they will give you a list of contacts. They don't always have, because they're not working with the direct parents, they're working with these camps. But they'll give you the person in charge of that camp, and you can go establish a relationship there. And we'd have those camps do field trips to us. So I would reach out to those camps. That's what I donated the money for. And we'd have them come do field trips to us. I'm sure some of you guys have done that already. And then when they come and do the field trip, we'd send a digital waiver to those camps. And that's how we can collect parents' information to market to them in the future. Okay. All right. Any challenges on breaking in, understanding how this works? Everybody's got that down pretty easily. All right. On the school group, I dropped verbatim exactly what I sent out to people. I do it on May 1st. And you can tweak this any way you want to. But let me give you context here. On May 1st, I promote to my parents already what they're going to come ask me. Hey, we're traveling to Europe for a month. We need to pause our membership. Hey, he's going to his dad's house in California for this whole summer. He's not going to be here. We need to pause our membership. Hey, we're not going to be able to make it during summer because X, Y, Z. How many of you guys ever had this before? Okay, all of us, right? And so instead of answering each person individually and just, I just enter the conversation before it happens. So May 1st, it was our policy. We're going to have a hand letter that we give to every student. All right. An email and a text, right? And then if you have a Facebook or private group, some kind of communication there. And our policy was this. We did a bunch of things at one time to make summer exciting. So it was the place to be. All right. So one, during the school year, we lock people into a schedule so we can predict class size, where openings, where weaknesses are, where volume is. So people are on a Monday, Wednesday, or Tuesday, Thursday split. During the summer, flex schedule. They can come as much as they want, as many classes they want, any day they want. And we would encourage them to try to stick to 3 or less, right? There are those families like, man, there's 10 classes my son comes to. He's coming to all 10. And the reality is it very much can be repetitive to that kid. And he could feel like he's missing on other things, and it can actually be productive that way. So we would recommend parents, hey, if you want to come more, try to average about 3 times a week. But we would educate the parents that, hey, here's how you use this service. When you're going on vacation and you're going to miss a week, the week before and the week after, come an extra class those 2 times. Because it's perception of value that these parents, they're worried about getting less for the same amount of money. Even though, like we didn't sell a monthly level program. Even now, that's not what I have set up. All right. You set a course for a period of time and you choose how you bill. Even like now, we don't bill monthly, we bill weekly. That's how we do our program. So it was for parents, the perception of making sure they don't feel like they're getting less value. So you have the opportunity to come more, right? We'd add morning classes and we reduce our evening schedule. My staff, on average would finish at 9 o'clock at night. Summertime, they got kids, they want to go out and do the stuff at the lake and all those type of things. And so we would, on 2 nights a week, we would reduce the schedule. So we were done at 7:30 or so, but we would, in exchange, add a Tuesday, Thursday morning class for 2 age groups. And so if people didn't want to come late in the evening because they want freedom for their summertime as well too, they had the ability to not lose classes. And if you're offering camps and things like that, and you already have kids in there in the daytime, then you have a built-in class structure where that's a set time for curriculum for ranking or for things like that. Okay. So we'd have a reduced evening schedule twice a week, add some morning classes. And so this is on the communication on May 1st. The next is we promote that when they do travel for a vacation to take one of our school's t-shirts and take a picture, and we'd give rewards for craziest photo, furthest destination, right? And to make it exciting, so not to shame them for going on vacation, celebrate it and have them take their karate stuff and take pictures and post or show some videos of them training to make it fun. Next, if they were going to miss 3 consecutive weeks or more, some people did miss the whole summer. Okay, I had a student that went to Europe every summer. I'm like, I'll just go with you, private train, we're good. Okay. For every 3 consecutive weeks missed, we'd exchange that for a private lesson voucher. So every 6 classes missed consecutive, right? Not in total. Like I missed this week one time. If they missed 3 weeks consecutive, we'd exchange that for a private lesson. So if they told us ahead of time, hey, we're missing the whole summer, we'd give them 3 private lesson vouchers. They'd already scheduled this with us. And that way they had the value. When they came back from the vacation, we could ramp them back into anything they've missed. So they don't feel, the key is, guys, listen, we know you can't get somebody to black belt in a day or a month or a year, but it's the perception of they feel they're behind. When people feel they're behind, you know what they do? They give up. Guys, I normally do 2 workout sessions a day right now. As you get older, like you got to stay moving, right? Trying to stay looking as good as Josh there. So, I got to move my body every single day. I didn't make it the second time yesterday. Like one time I didn't make it second day. I felt guilty for that. Like, I'm like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it sucks to feel like you're behind. Think about being a 9-year-old kid and you feel like everyone else is ahead of you. Like you don't know how to put that into words. And so you just don't want to go back. So we use the private lesson vouchers to wait for that. And then if you want to take it to the next level and gamify it, whether you use some kind of Monopoly style money or if you use tickets, we would reward people for classes and for things, just rewarding for the things they're going to do anyway. But when we do buddy week during the summer, which we'd always do that during the summer, if they came to camps, if they came to the parents' night outs, anything they extra participated with, our back to school party, our end of school year party, our July 4th party, we'd give them ability to earn, and we'd do this massive end of summer. We do an end of school, we do a massive end of summer party, and we give away all kind of stuff. Okay. So just gamify it in some way. Soon this will be digitized. This is something that we're working on now, is like basically being able to use your already attendance system to gamify people so they move up in status, just like you would at Chick-fil-A or Delta or anywhere like that. Okay. But don't wait till a parent. Listen, anytime a parent comes to ask you a question like this, that means there's probably 7 other parents that just hasn't asked you yet. That means you're late to the game on getting to them. And so typically Memorial Day weekend's kind of the unofficial start of summer. Our schools typically didn't get out to like June 4th, 5th, somewhere there. So May 1st was our deadline, which is around the corner. Okay. And it's simple. It's a 1-page document. On the back of it was every theme we would do for the summer 8 weeks. And every week was a different theme. Beach week, ninja week, etc. Okay. And then speaking of which, and I think it's here I put 2 things here in the chat if you guys see it. But one, if you have a product for you guys, that's not just me, I've partnered with a couple other people. If you need help with actually the themes, drills, skills you need for actually running camps or for just themes for your classes, it's already done for you. Have that. If you want someone to do your social media, your posts, your texts, your reels with AI technology built in it and with landing pages. All right. And it's just look, a lot of you guys are smart to do this yourself. but the hours it would take to do that. And if you have one school and you got time, yeah, and you want to save money, 100%. But I don't cut my own grass. I could say, I don't even have that much grass. What am I talking about? Okay. I don't clean the pool myself, you know. Could I? Sure. But that's my skill set can be used doing something else. So when you can leverage money to get more things. And then yesterday we talked about how to get a videographer basically for free. You know, I've got a video team tomorrow. I've got two people that I'm working with, and basically it costs me nothing because I create product for my customer for them to pay for what I need as well too. Okay. Tomorrow we're going to talk about classroom floor management, some drills and skills, things like that. Thursday's call will be fast leadership. I'm on my way Thursday night to go work out and get my ass kicked Friday morning by David Goggins, 2-hour workout with him. So it'll be exciting. And to network some of the people that we're going to have at our event in September. Speaking of September, guys, last night I had a great conversation with a guy named Damon West. Some of you guys maybe heard him speak at one of my events in the past. Just a cool story. He was here with a guy named Brad Lee. Some of you guys will get to meet him soon. But Damon West, you know, what had 2 life sentences, consecutive life sentences, and found his way out of prison. He speaks all over the world now. And I paid 15, by the way, I'm telling you how something I did. I paid $15,000 to have him come to an event to speak. At that time was the most I ever paid someone to speak. I brought him in to speak to 2 people individually. You guys know one of these people. You guys know Josh Smith. I brought Damon West in to speak to my clients because I wanted Josh to hear a story. After that talk, Josh started his journey to be a public speaker. I paid 15 grand to put Josh in the seat he's in now. And by the way, Josh talks about a lot. He became a premier school because I invited him to come stay with me, and I paid his way to come stay with me so I could show him how to do business. For 6 years, I coached him for $0. And so when I see his story and I see him traveling, right? And I'm not saying this because I want credit. I'm saying this because you guys are doing this a lot of times for kids, and you'll never see the end story. And sometimes we lose hope and confidence that, like, is this, like, are we just doing a business? Like, the work is there. And what I love is when I see Josh, I know how many people he's helping now. Now he's coaching people. So it's exponential. And that's why it's so important. I think that if all of us could have more success, there's an exponential effect that the world needs. And that's why when you hear me talk about the 10,000 kids graduating to black belt under one roof, 2027, I'll put that timeline shorter. Like, so many people are going to have to be part of that story. The question that kind of challenged you guys is, would you invest money in someone with no return that you know of, that you can tangibly touch, hoping they hear the right thing by the right person? Damon last night showed me a picture of his house he just built that his mom moved into last week. That's on his property. Okay. Now, Damon makes a couple $1 million a year speaking now. He's got a great, New York Times bestseller book, and it's a great story. But I was going to buy the book to give to all my clients. And instead, I messaged him. He responded. I said, hey, I got an event next week. What would it take for you instead of sending me your books? How do I get you? $15K for him to fly down and speak for an hour because I wanted 2 people in the room to hear it. The second person, never a client. I think this person might be in prison to this day right now. I paid him to come to the event. Not a client, to somebody I knew. And I want him to hear this message. The thing that stuck with me about Damon, guys, when he got sentenced to 2 life sentences, I told him to this last night. This thing that stuck with me, his parents grabbed him as he's about to get locked up. 2 life sentences, guys. His mom says, you come back to me, the man that I raised, or don't come back to me at all. Imagine your mom. I'm really close to my family, guys. Right? Like your dad or your mom saying that to you. My biggest fear in life is my dad calling me, telling me he's disappointed in me. So, and then he just built his mom a house on his property. You know, what a redemption story. And so I know we're just coming off of Easter, guys, but like, we need success. We need students. We need all this. But for why? Like, I need you guys more successful so you can hit more people. Let's impact this world to a better level. All right. Hey guys, tomorrow we're going to talk about classroom floor. Anything I ever can do, guys. You've got my number. You got my email. Hit me up. And I mean that. I want you guys to win and win big. All right, guys. Hasta mañana. Peace. Let's go.